First, I want to thank you for having a technical mind. It's nice that somebody on the board does. I think you do an excellent job. And then secondly, does the airport have any list of rules or ordinances that people that come to the airport have to follow? Even airplane hangar owners? Any rules or ordinances?
There are things that has been put in place ahead of time, like hangar leases, some of the requirements of that. I don't know that I have all that information because of the previous administration. I've got a few bits and pieces of stuff. As far as, let's just say most aviators know what you're supposed to do.
Sure.
You know, it happens sometimes that people drive out here, well, you're not supposed to do that. When I talked about security, that is another thing that we are going to look into one of these days, because technically, security might mean that we put a fence across here, so when people come to visit, they can't drive their vehicles out here and walk into an airplane. I will tell you this, that, and I'm not, Keith is going to get his chance here to fill in. This is my layman type of thing. We do have things that you don't go running around and
don't carry weapons or anything like that.
I don't know of any of that type of stuff. It's just a standard thing that you would do just to be a, what do I want to say, proper respect, a proper attitude that you would give to any individual.
Okay.
Weapons are accepted any place except those places which are posted. No firearms allowed.
Thank you.
Keith, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
No, sir.
Mr. Russell.
Mr. Russell?
I'm going to speak as a pilot. In 2011, 2 guys were killed trying to find the airport. 1 month prior to that, the instructor that was killed and I and the student that was killed flew to Leesburg, Virginia to drop the student off so he could have it, bring a truck back home. The plan was to fly from here to Leesburg, get fuel. It's about a 2-hour flight, 2.5. Took us a little bit longer than that to get down. We got down, landed, kicked him out, learned that the fuel pumps had closed 15 minutes before we arrived at 6 p.m. I was under a half a tank of fuel in the old airplane. I knew I couldn't make it home, but I thought I could get up to just below Pittsburgh. So we took off, flew there. It was about 10 o'clock at night, landed hoping to get fuel. Got down, we were under a quarter of a tank in each side. I was scared. We got down, pumps were locked tight as a drum. No getting fuel. Greg, Dale Stearns and I thought, there's only one thing we can do. I'm not trusting the gauges. We dipped both tanks, had about 16 gallons still on board. Felt it was safe enough to fly up to Johnstown, which we did, landed, got fuel, then flew home. I went to the people that were in charge of the airport at the time and asked, listen, in light of what just happened to me, this is the most frustrating, scary thing that a pilot can possibly endure, is running out of fuel and not being able to get fuel. I started asking them, I was told no, 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 no. We're keeping it locked on. I was one of the guys that went to the city manager and asked, listen, whenever you take over, can you please install a 24-hour system that will allow a pilot to save himself from having to make the hard call of, do I take off and risk my life, or do I just pile up in this airplane for the night? So, as a pilot, I am incredibly grateful to everyone that was involved in getting the 24 credit card system working. 24 hours a day is vitally important to guys that are flying long distances from point A to point B, and the headwinds were too strong, and they need fuel, and they need it now. So, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mr. Russell, you've been heard, and hopefully installing them.
It's a